Hello and welcome to my first podcast. I'm your host, Max Reck, and today you're listening to the title I forgot. Well, that's not the title of the episode. But I'm actually not remembering the title. So let's retrace. Let's go back to what I want to talk about. So today's story is about an event. If you watch the video, you might see that I'm just coming back from the gym. And what I want to talk about is from the last time I drove to the gym. And when I drove onto the parking lot of the gym, I said to myself, well, that's quite empty here. There's only few cars here, so the gym must be very, very empty. And then there was a guy standing outside of the gym on his phone. And when I walked into the gym, or I tried walking into the gym, at the door was a sign: gym closed because of electricity failure. And that was. I was driving to the gym from our apartment. We returned. We gave the keys, our old apartment, we gave the keys back. And in my mind already validating those excuses. Yeah, I have done that. I have mowed the lawn. I've cleaned the rest bits of the apartment. I handed it back. I drove 3 hours that day, and now the gym is closed. There must be a sign that it would be too much to work out. But for me, I set myself the goal to be in the most phenomenal shape and fitness level I have ever been in my life until I turn 30, which will be, what's today, in 9 days and 1 year exactly. So that has been my goal, and it will stay my goal until I reach it next year. And now life throws stones at me. The hurdles I have to overtake, and taking the first fall, the first sign to get out of it now, to find or validate my excuse. I didn't fall for it, so I drove, put out my phone, googled the next available gym, and I drove to it, or at least let's say I drove towards it. Being in Ludwigshafen, a smaller, more bigger town actually, it's probably like a 45 minutes drive to where we live now. I looked up, and the next one was in the next city, which is Mannheim, and I drove to it, and I think the first traffic light I turned to the wrong side, and my brain keeps putting up the excuses. Oh yeah, you drive another half an hour to the gym, it's already 8 o'clock in the evening, and you have to get up early the next morning to get things done and completed. You have other commitments like that podcast to get done in time. I keep validating those excuses in my mind, and on the other side, like, we have that devil and that angel on our shoulders. The other side was saying, well, but you have that goal. If you don't do it now with the first smaller obstacles in your way, you're not gonna be able to push through it all the way until next year. So I knew I have to go for it, regardless of how long the drive will be, and how tired or how frustrated I might be from taking the wrong turn for a second time, just a minute later after I start to validate them. And I think it was 45 minutes from the other gym it took me to get to that gym. And that was very frustrating at the moment. But when I got to the gym, which then made me very, very hungry as well, because it was smelling all over McDonald's food on the parking space of that gym, But I was strong. I walked into the door and I think I cycled for probably 40 minutes, and then I done some weight exercises and a few machines to push through, and I felt amazing. I knew I have not fallen for the small excuse, and that's why the title of that episode, which I couldn't remember in the beginning, which weeks before I would have paused, restarted the episode, is Don't Fall For It. And that's what we have to keep in mind. And exactly that's what I done in the beginning. I didn't fail. Obviously I didn't fail, but I didn't fall for the struggle. And pausing, deleting the video, redoing it, sorting my mind just to remember that the title of the episode is Don't Fall For It. I pushed through it, and that's the same what I did with the gym. I pushed through it. I wasn't able to go to the gym there. I get to the next one, and I know I had the luxury or benefit that I have a gym membership which extends over multiple gyms all across Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and I think it's Spain also included, and Italy a few. And if the one is closed, I'm able to just drive to the next, although it might be a 40-minute drive, maybe an hour drive, depending on where I am. That's a luxury I have. But I also know that if I wouldn't have that, I would also be able to drive home, change myself there, and do push-ups, sit-ups, go for a run, do anything I can do without machines to get moving, to have my body moving, to get healthier, to burn calories, to gain muscle, to get into the shape I want to get into. So too often we fall for it. There's a small thing which happened to us where we take and validate it as an excuse to not do the uncomfortable things. And I think that the gym is just one example for that. That also happens a lot in our daily life. There might be something we don't want to do, maybe the vacuum cleaning in our house, and then the phone flashes, let me check that message, text someone back. Or the laundry, and we're like, oh no, I have to go to the gym first, and I don't want to do that. So I want to challenge you today. Yes, you heard me right, I want to challenge you, because I did that with myself, with the gym, with a lot of other things. I worked out in the last 4 weeks more often than not in the mornings, straight after I woke up. I wasn't perfect, I have to say. Sometimes I didn't fall asleep quickly enough because I also fall for a distraction. I checked maybe Instagram, Facebook, read an article when I was already lying in bed on my phone, and it didn't help me to fall asleep. Which I think one night I fall asleep 20 minutes before 2 in the night, and then I was up at 7:30 again to get ready to get to work. So I didn't have that spare time I usually put in place in the mornings to be able to do those exercises in the morning, and a few other things in my routine. You might have heard the previous episode already. So to not fall for it, we have to prepare ourselves. We might fall for it for a moment, for a second, and then we have to remind ourselves. And that's what I did with the gym. I fall for the excuse, I sort of go back to the car, and I drive home, and that was it for today. But then, in my mind, I remembered the greater goal. Far, far away. I'm not that lean that I can see it really close by yet. But I know I have to do this small steps, incremental steps towards my goal. If I keep doing them daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and then annually, I'm gonna hit that goal. and it's not that far away. I probably had that goal, or not probably, I had that goal already when I was 18. Like, I'm gonna do it until I'm 20. And then do it until I'm 22, 25. Oh, that's fine. I keep pushing it off, but now it's finally time. I own it to myself. I owe it to so many. No, I don't actually owe it to any other person. I owe it to myself. That's all what truly matters. If I want it for myself, I have to get it for myself. And that's like every other situation in our life. If we want it, if we really want it for ourselves, we're gonna go out, get it, no matter what. And that's what I did. And that's what we have to do every day. If that's the promotion you want to get, go for it, get it. Don't talk about anyone bad, but if you help others, if you're nice to others, if you perform well, if you try to avoid distractions, you don't have to help everyone when they come up to you. Just say no if it's necessary. If you're in the middle of something, they don't see it in a bad way. Trust me. They know you're busy at the time, and we all are. But if every time someone walks up to us, we fall for it, and then we spend half an hour for trying to help them, we're not gonna get that done. So if someone walks up, ask them, sorry, I have to finish that first. Then they're okay. You finish that. You stay highly focused on it. You'll see how quickly you get it done, because you have that focus. You already have in mind you want to help someone else. You get it done. You walk over, down, up, wherever the person is going to be located in your offices or where you're going to work or where you are working. You go and help them. You will see many times the person will already have helped themselves, because they figured it out themselves, which is also a gift for them. It will make them more confident. And with confidence, there's nothing we can't do. Because the only thing stopping us daily is the lack of confidence. We fear to fail. But I did it. I pushed, I think they're called military lifts or something like that, 14 kilograms, like 30 pounds or something like that, for 15 reps, and 15 at a time and 3 repetitions of the sets. And for the last repetition, I think I had to take like 3 or 4 minutes break to actually be able to push through the 15. So I failed in the sense that I wasn't able to keep the breaks between sets small, but I didn't fail in pushing through them and make the amount of repetitions per set I set myself. So regardless of what you do, what quality you do it, in what iteration or in what perfection, quality, whatever you want to call it, you do a task at hand, there's always a perspective where you failed at it, and there's a other perspective where you succeeded at it greatly. And it's always about your perception of that situation. So focus on the things you've done great and keep improving them. Obviously we have to look out for the things we haven't done great, but we shouldn't focus on them, because they will frustrate us. They will decrease our confidence, and with decreased confidence we won't try new things. We will have it harder to step out of our comfort zone. And if we stay in our comfort zone, if we keep doing the things we're already doing, we're not gonna grow. And it's not only for muscles. If we keep pushing those 12 kilogram, 25 pounds or so, what I have done for so many years, to be honest, in that exercise, push them, I never went above. And then I think I talked to a colleague or so, and I researched progressive overload and listened to a podcast now as well from, I think, John Madsen, I believe. He was a former football NFL player, and I listened to it as well while I was actually running for 10k at a couple of weekends ago, I think. And I listened to him and I researched a lot of it, and I thought to myself, well, I can either go two ways. I can go with the 12 kilograms and go for 20 repetitions per set to take that overload and make it harder for me, or I go for the 14 and try to get for between 12 and 15, which I'm doing now. And I progressively will go to 20 repetitions per set. And if I have that done, I'm gonna go up to 16 kilograms. So what I mean is, if there's a certain thing you do every day, regardless of what it is, you have to push yourself for more repetition, for higher resistance. And I'm not talking about the gym right now. I talk about your life. If there's something you can't overcome, you have to repeat the task more often. You have to increase the resistance to that task. And you will see it will get insanely hard. I'm telling you, you will get it insanely hard in the beginning. And it will hurt. And you want to quit, most likely. But if you do it long enough, it becomes the new normal. You will be excited to realize what's gonna be next for me, what goal I'm gonna take next on, what step, what next hurdle I can overtake next. What's next for me? And people will come up to you, asking you how you get there, how you keep pushing yourself to overtake that next step. So what my challenge is for you, I might have been a little bit sidetracked here now, is to increase your repetition. If it's in the gym, do those 2 reps more per set. Don't change the weight or anything crazy. Cycle for 5 minutes long. If it's running, run for 5 minutes long. If you love the elliptical, do 5 minutes longer than you usually do. If it's in work, put that extra effort in. Maybe stay 5 minutes longer. Maybe leave 5 minutes earlier if you're there all the time. Do you have those people in the office as well? They start scheduling meetings at 8 in the morning, but they also schedule one at 6 in the evening. And they always run an hour. Well, not meaning they always run an hour. They're planned always for an hour, running at least 1.5. And then you're gonna be in there before 8, and you're not gonna be out before 7:30. You know those people. But imagine the same person would now schedule the meeting at 9:30 and schedule the last one at 4. Be out at 5. It will all make us think. And I strongly believe in a positive way. Because then we know they worked hard enough, then they look after themselves now. So that's something I challenge you on to do and implement into your life. And you will see how much confidence you will build over time. It's not a quick fix. It's nothing we can do overnight. It's progressively, incremental steps over long periods of time to get us where we want to get. If you reflect back onto your life, I think it's similar to mine. Every major step you have taken into your life came on the backside of a long and hard period of small steps, of repetition over and over again. If it was running your first 10k, 10 miles, half marathon, getting your first promotion at work, getting that new job, buying that new car, new house, there was nothing coming overnight. So keep building up over time, and your confidence will increase. That's all I want to tell you today, and I know I sidetracked a lot, but I think it was really important for me to share that and put that in place for you as well. I will keep putting it in place, and I'm sure we're going to share on that topic going forward more often, because I want to bring more stories of my life where I can share the way I overtake that situation, different situations, not only for the gym. That's my huge goal currently, because I think it's so far away in my mind. It's not time-wise really far away, a year, but in my mind it's really far away too, and a real dream for so many years to be in that shape. And I'm surely take you on that journey as well on my Instagram stories. You might have seen over the last few weeks where I take a few pictures from me in the gym. I also done a live in the gym. I might do that more often. Something I want to share, I want to take you with, because that's something I want to be able to go back on in a year's time, and now to be able to maybe share my progress to from where I have been and from where I'm at now, what I have achieved. Sometimes we don't realize that because of the small incremental steps. We don't see it ourselves. We see ourselves every day, so we don't see those huge improvements over months, because we see us every day. So they're really small and tiny, those changes. So that's why I measure a lot of things, to be able to see those incremental steps along the way, to keep me motivated. What we can't measure, we can't improve. So that's where my measuring goes into place, regardless of what it is. So do that for yourself, and I would love to hear from you what it does to your confidence and ability to take on more. That's it for today. I'm truly grateful for you to listening in, reaching out to me. And if you like it, also share this episode with your friends, with your following, or the people you surround yourself with. Thank you. You listened to my first podcast. I'm your host, Max Schreck, and until next time.